What's up, folks? Welcome back to another episode here at G Outdoors. As you can see, today we are indoors because we are cooking up some deer meat poutine. Before we get into this, let's backtrack and show you how to make this bad boy. So right off the bat, what is poutine? Well, it's a dish that originated in the 1950s here in Quebec, Canada, which was surprising because I thought it was a much older dish. And the most famous yet basic poutine is comprised of three components. French fries, cheese curds, also known as squeaky cheese, has to be cheese curds, folks. Not mozzarella, not cheddar, no party with Havarti, has to be cheese curds. You'll get laughed out of Canada if you try to use anything else. And lastly, brown gravy. Now, because we're adding deer, we'll use beef broth, but many other poutine gravies use chicken broth as well. And speaking of deer, we'll be using some deer steaks from a buck I got about a month ago. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up top. This buck dropped like a sack of potatoes. Get it? Sack of potatoes? Sack of potatoes. More dad jokes than a father of 8, bucko. And then we're gonna use some leeks, which you can use onion as well, but I do like leeks because they have a milder flavor. I also use only the white part of the leek, and noticed in the past they break down very well when you slow cook them over long periods of time. So in our crock pot, slow cooker, whatever you're using, you're gonna layer the meat down on the bottom first. You'll notice there's not much fat on deer like you would find on pork shoulders, but these deer have tons of flavor, so don't you worry. Then we're gonna season it with some salt, and don't be scared to be generous here. We'll probably have to add more anyways later on when we remove the deer from the broth. Then we'll add some fennel. This is fennel seeds that I ground up myself. Fennel and deer go together like peanut butter and jelly, folks. And then we'll finish it off with some garlic powder. I'll also add some black pepper once I pull out the meat and begin making my gravy, which you guys are going to see in just a bit. Then I'll throw in the leeks and add the beef broth just until it covers the meat. Usually a 1-liter container of broth is perfect. Pop the crock pot on high and let that puppy go for 6 hours. And I usually check it at 4 just to be safe, but deer breaks down much differently than pork and other meats. First time making pulled deer, I got scared because at the 5-hour mark it was still tough and didn't want to break down. But then the magic happened between hours 5 and 6, so don't be scared to let it go if you don't see that meat doing what you want it to do. So 4 hours in, we can see this meat is starting to break down, but not quite there yet to where it starts pulling away from itself. The leek, however, is breaking down quite nicely. Now, when it comes to the French fry part of the dish, you can use shoestring, wedges, sweet potato, curly fries. I've seen it all, but my favorite is some yellow or Yukon Gold potatoes with a bit of the skin left on for that rustic taste. I like it to have some density as well compared to the shoestring fries. Crispy on the outside, but pillowy soft on the inside. The outside crisp helps it from becoming complete mush when you add the gravy. The crispiness acts as a barrier, and then you can have the cheese becoming almost a glue vessel that bonds the gravy to the fry. We're now at the 6-hour mark. Pop the fries in the oven and you can see the deer finally starting to break down. And because it cooked in that broth, the meat stayed nice and juicy. So now we'll remove the deer from the broth and start shredding it. As for Putin toppings, I've seen it all, folks. There's hundreds of Putin variations. The most famous one here in Montreal, besides the basic pooter, is the smoked meat poutine. And for my under the radar poutine I had 2 summers ago for the first time, had French fries, gravy, and cheese curds. Then they topped it with bacon, green onions, and sour cream. Basically a loaded baked potato style poutine. I was skeptical at first, but man, was it delicious. All right. Enough reminiscing. Time to make the gravy. Strain the broth for any bits of deer or leek that might have been left over. You'll notice it's still too thin for a gravy, so to thicken it up, we're gonna make a slurry. Equal parts cornstarch and water. Stir it together till the cornstarch breaks down, then add it to the gravy, whisking continuously so the cornstarch doesn't clump up. I start with a tablespoon of starch and water and slowly add more until it gets to that consistency of gravy I want. When all the components are ready, it's time to build this poutine. French fries on the bottom, deer meat over it, top it with some cheese curds, and then finish with the hot gravy to melt the cheese down. It's not the sexiest dish or aesthetically pleasing, but holy smokes, does it soothe the soul. Folks, my mouth is watering. Let's get into this. Is this even recording? It is. Oh, folks, poutine is a staple here where I live in Montreal. Oh, let's get a bit of the French fries, some of the meat, some of the cheese curds. That's a big bite, but you know what? I'm a big boy. Check that out right there. The steam's coming out. The cheese is starting to melt. All right. The first thing you'll notice when you eat poutine, the squeaky cheese. It's got to be squeaky cheese. The gravy is surprisingly delicious. That deer meat comes through, falls apart in your mouth. The crispy French fries, but they're still pillowy on the inside. Oh man, this is delicious. You have this on a cold winter's day or after a couple brewskis at 3 in the morning. Ooh, good night, Jim Kite. This is what dreams are made of. Let me know down below if you guys have ever eaten poutine. Are you guys gonna make it? If you do, let us know how it turns out for you. This was amazing. If you want to see us do some other recipes using wild game, let us know down in the comments some of your favorite recipes. Maybe we'll give them a try, make a video with it. Let us know. But I'm gonna shut up now. I'm gonna keep eating. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, smash the subscribe button down below for future recipe videos, outdoor videos, whatever videos kind of you're into. We got it. So hopefully we catch you guys on the next one. Hey guys, thanks for watching this week's G Eats video. If you guys want to check out some of our other eating recipe videos, be sure to hit one of these two. If you guys haven't already subscribed, make sure to smash the subscribe down below, and we'll see you guys next week.